Welcome back, everybody, to Thanks for Your Concern. You are here with Berenice.
And I'm Ella. What's up? We're live in studio.
I know.
Seattle, Washington.
I know. The universe let me come home this time.
I love it.
I know. It's good to be by you. We can touch.
Right?
This is the extent of how much me and Ella ever touch. You know when you have a best friend and you guys we don't touch.
It's like, should we hug right now? We're like,
no.
Maybe not.
Love this for us. I'm good.
Yeah, get to see the fam bam. That's fun. That's exciting.
It is very exciting. Get to see my family. You know, my dad's been going through some life crises. I just people start dying as you get older, and I think he's realizing that, and he's like, you have to come home. We're spending every second together, and I'm like, whoa. Love this for us. Very excited to be back in town.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sad because I'm literally leaving.
I saw that. I told maybe two people that I was coming, aside from my family, you being one of them. And then also I checked one of my other friends' locations and he's in Vietnam, and I was like, damn.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm leaving for Thailand in T-minus 12 hours. That's not so crazy shit.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited. I was really nervous, okay? And I'll tell you why. Mostly because I feel like I've never gone on an international trip where I did not have the illusion that I spoke the language, okay? Because last time I went on a big trip, I went to Spain and I was like, I fucking speak Spanish, bitch, okay? In my defense, Catalonia is just not Spanish.
Yeah.
They say it is, but it's they're like, oh, it's Spanish, it just has different nouns and verbs. And I'm like, well, that's
a different
50%
language.
of the fucking thing. And people will always say, they'll joke around. They're like, I went to Barcelona. And it's because, they literally talk with, it's like a lisp. It's kind of hard to understand. But I wasn't as nervous because I was like, I fucking speak Spanish. I'll be able to get around this country, right? I do not have the illusion that I speak Thai, okay?
Yeah, that's real different. That's
I got this book, How to Read Thai in 10 Days.
How is it not going?
Shh, I don't read Thai, okay?
Yeah, it did not work.
It's been 10 days, I don't read
false
Thai.
Marketing. False advertising.
Now, I will say, I'll give myself credit. I probably know more than 75% of people who go.
You think so?
People, okay, especially America. I think the reason why people hate Americans so much is that Americans will go anywhere and just assume enough people will be able to communicate with them. So they put no effort in learning the language.
Yeah.
They don't. They just are people speak,
people are going to speak English.
People are going to speak English.
We're going to be fine.
Which is true. They do, because it's it behooves people, and it's a hard skill that you can grow in your local economy with. But it's just so presumptuous. I think it's presumptuous and so rude to go to a culture and have no fucking information on the cultural norms, and then also just be oh yeah, I'm American, so you should fucking try to speak with me, instead of the other way around. I'm coming to your country, I should try to learn a little something.
No, but Ella's ready to ask how you're doing, even though she might not know what the fuck you'd say back.
Sawadee-ka, that's the big one.
Okay.
That's hello.
That's hello.
White, that's greetings.
Okay.
Instead of shaking hands.
Okay.
That's 50%. I've been trying to learn things that I know I'll need.
Okay.
I'm how do I
basics. Bathroom. Coffee. Okay.
Coffee.
Yeah.
It's really it's similar. I'm so it's anyway, so
you thought about maybe printing out pictures flashcards, just laminated.
I have a little notebook. I have a little notebook with hey, this one.
This is what I mean.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a cool language. I would 100% recommend people learning it. Side note, it just makes a lot of sense. It's very, they don't conjugate verbs.
Okay.
So it's actually a little bit easier than anything. So it's to run, and then you just understand, contextually with, I, you, and other things that what it's, the conjugation is. So you only have to learn one thing. Instead of in Spanish, it's, 7+.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. It's also beautiful, written. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's cool. It's I've never tried to learn a like symbol language, a character language. So that's interesting. I know that I don't know how much Japanese you still have, but her note cards, I was like, oh my God, this is so impressive. Because you would do them in 3 languages, because you would do Spanish, English, and Japanese. And I was like,
you know, I tried.
Incredible.
One day. I still have hope that like one day I'll live in Japan for like a year. I think it's doable. I think it's possible. Anything's possible. So, you know.
It's a fashion center. They got some cool shit going down. So it might behoove you.
2024?
Yeah.
2024? Foreshadowing. Yeah, no. We're going to get back on the Japanese train. As of recent, there's no Japanese developments. It's all been hee-hee-ha-has in my end of the world. But should we get into the episode?
I'm so excited. I'm geared up.
Geared up.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Thanks for your concern.
All right, you guys. So this episode is basically soft launching the new year, the new you.
Yeah.
We love a soft launch. So I think people understand like a relationship soft launch.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when you get a back of the head, a hand.
in the Instagram photo.
Yeah.
Sometimes a sneak like reaching to get a glass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone touching your pet.
Yeah.
Like, who is that in the corner?
Like a reflection from a glass, you know?
I actually think that's funny because I don't like the soft launch idea. I'm outing myself, but like... So if you post everybody, you never have to hard launch. And no one knows who you're actually seeing because you post everybody.
I love that. Yeah. It's just like, is that
Keep
a friend?
them guessing.
Is that a who?
No one knows. No one knows until you're like, this is my man.
Yeah. I literally have never posted my man on social media.
Oh my God. I love it.
I just, honestly, it's because... I just don't know what's the caption gonna be, because I feel like I've never seen a couple caption that I liked. Every time
everything is cringe.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's like, oh, happy fucking 4-year. We've been through a bunch of ups and downs. Gross. I hate that.
Oh, the ups and downs. You guys, low-key, if they say ups and downs, they hate each other.
There's mostly downs, you know? I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to do a hard launch. Like, there'll just be one day where you're like, oh, shit, wedding photo.
I'm obsessed with this person. Yeah. I hope you guys know.
I'm pregnant. This is my baby daddy. Like, that's probably where we're going to be.
But no, we're soft launching, and a soft launch is more of like a touch here and there. Yeah. We're deeping our feet in the water. We're seeing if it works out. If not, no big deal.
And that's okay. So why I like soft launching a new year, so like your New Year's resolutions, a new version of yourself, is you can like trial and error to figure out if this is actually something that you want. I wish I would have soft launched running a marathon.
Yeah.
I hard launched it.
Yeah.
And then I forgot that I have crippling shin splints.
that will do it.
Also also delusions, which are a bad combo, because it's like if you think you're delusional when they say, "Hey, you should run 10 miles." I'm going to run the 10 miles. I don't give a fuck. And then it's like you should have listened to your body, bitch, because now you can't walk.
Yeah.
So, little trial and error.
I think a half marathon maybe is like a little more realistic of a goal. If you're like, want to do a marathon, maybe train for a half marathon first and like see how your body reacts. Maybe start with like a really good like 5K, you know what I mean? And if you're pumping after that, then, go a little longer. Maybe, 10K, 15.
Yeah, I really should. I mean, honestly, you guys, I'm going to come back to it in like 2023. So this is maybe my soft launch that I'm going to try a race.
A race.
I'll just say a race. Maybe I'll race my dog down
really
the street.
Stealing back the dream.
Steal it back. But that's what the soft launches. It's just like scaling back so that you don't end up disappointing yourself. Like, I feel like when you set up your really big goals and then you don't reach them, you get so discouraged.
Sorry, you're like, she's just sitting. Okay, so Ella's dog, Cardi, she used to be a menace. I don't know if she likes me. I don't know if she's just older, but she's just sitting in between us, acting like she's part of the conversation. I'm obsessed with it. No, sit back down. It's okay. I just wanted to give her an honorable mention.
Yeah, she's in her boozy Nordstrom sweater. This is a great gift for
the holiday season.
For the holiday season.
Shout out Nordstrom.
Well, I'm just saying, if you have someone who has a really hard to give gifts for, give them a gift for their pet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God, this is derailing the conversation, but we're going to do a little shout out. I saw sweaters for snakes and lizards, and I was like, oh my God, such a cute gift. Like, if you know someone that has a reptile, getting them a little custom made sweater.
Oh, that is
what's
unique.
Cuter?
That sweater for their pet.
Exactly. So, if anyone was interested. All right, back on track.
Back on track. We're soft launching.
Yeah, anyway, so we're soft launching. This is like the perfect time to soft launch January 1st because there's a lot of pressure. And I don't even know if I believe in New Year's resolutions, truly.
No, we don't believe. I don't think we've ever done a podcast episode where we're like, these are our New Year's resolutions. Let's fucking get it. Yeah, because they don't work. It's like, it's the same concept, a New Year's resolution, as people who put going to the gym as one of their New Year's resolution. You know, you can start that shit like any day of the week, right?
Baby, today is the second best day to start.
100%.
First best day to start was yesterday.
Yeah.
This is the second best day.
Yeah. So if your 2023 was a little derailed, maybe a little shitty, or maybe you just want to spice it up, yeah, this is a time where you're like, here are some things I'm gonna maybe start introducing and see how they go. I saw a TikTok that I resonated with that said, I think I owe it to myself to make one more bad decision of 2023. And I think that's part of the soft launch. Like, if you have something that you want to get out before the new year, maybe it's time that you do it. Maybe it's time to have that hard conversation with somebody. Maybe it's time to just like put out some feelers and see what goes.
I think I need to make one more bad financial decision.
More bad before the new year starts.
You know, that's actually really interesting. I kind of like that, where it's like, give indulge in one more thing before you go
into the new year.
Because I'm trying this new year, because I've been doing No Spend November. Ooh. It was kind of my soft launch to be better with money.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I make enough money that like I don't actually like. I don't know. It's interesting because when you're super broke, you don't actually need to learn money management because
you don't have any money to manage.
You're like, your money management is like, how am I gonna pay these bills on time? You know,
pennies. Yeah. Let me allocate some funds there. Like, there is no extra.
You go into your closet and be like, what am I going to sell to Plato's Closet for $8 so I could buy 2 Four Locos? Like, there's no management there. So it's something I wanted to work on. But like, yes, soft launching. I'm going to make one more bad financial decision.
And then I'm done. We're making more physically responsible choices, but we just got one more left for 2023.
Okay, I love that. You know? I also think that a soft launch kind of gives you like time to adjust to your like new you before you like fully launch it and commit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you want to go to the gym, if you start now, you can kind of like get used to it, kind of get the bumps in the road. So then by January 1st, if you have a goal of like going to the gym like 3 times a week, you're already into it.
Smart. If your goal is to become a meathead, to become swole, to become brolic, maybe, get your workout shoes on today.
Yeah, baby. And like, it's also good to see if like your resolution is compatible and like feasible with your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I personally, I work out, I'm damn near every day, okay? Yeah. It just is a part of my routine. That's not compatible for a lot of people's lifestyles.
100%.
It's really not. Like, it's basically the main thing I do besides podcasting, work, dog. It's working out.
Podcasting, work dog, working out.
Working out. Those are like my things. But it's not compatible for some people to work out as often as I do because they have kids. They have a more demanding job. They have things to do. So if you like say like, oh, I'm going to work out every single day. And then you realize it's not feasible for me to do that. Mm-hmm. The soft launch gives you the time to like adjust things and be like, okay, actually I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, or I'm going to go on a walk every day, and just figure out what's compatible for your lifestyle because babes, we can't do it all. So we got to figure out what we actually can do.
Yeah. I feel you. There really is not enough time in the world to do all my interest. But something I found, like, I've always just been very artsy. Obviously, I still have, like, my fashion thing that I'm, like, working on. I just decided that I'm not, like, a conventionally work person. Like, my aspirations in life is not to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, and just trying to figure out how I'm going to change that in 2024. And one of the things that I feel like, even though I want to grow the things that I'm doing now, is I've loved music for so long. I just don't know if I can keep up with the lifestyle of like, I want to go out and like go to a rave every weekend. And I'm like, well, if I love music so much and I want to be around music all the time, why don't I start dipping my feet in what that means and changing the dynamic that I have with music, right? Whether that means taking a singing lesson and being like, oh, maybe I will work on my voice, or I've always liked the idea with mixing. I feel like that's a very ambitious goal to be like, I become a DJ. But it's like, do I even like mixing? Would I even like it? So spending time with, I have a lot of DJ friends. Teach me how to do this. I want to see if I actually like it, if this is actually something I see myself getting more involved in. Because as much as I like being around music, I don't know if I want to just like attend things anymore. Just like,
It's a lot. It's a lot of energy, and it doesn't even matter. Like, babes, I've been doing sober raving for this year. Okay, so like it's really fun, but like it's still energy. Like it's still calories, bro. Mm-hmm. I took my Apple Watch to a rave, and I burned more calories in like a fucking like 4-hour bass session, like bass head festival, than I did like in 2 weeks of working out. Yeah. Like you're just like,
like how are you so in shape? I was like, I rave every weekend.
Literally. It's like, and then you also, you do your flow art, which is like a legitimate workout too. Yeah. Something you said about singing lessons that I was like, oh, I really wish people did this more often is I think you should research how much it would actually cost for you to do the thing you've always wanted to do, because singing lessons are not as expensive as like I thought it would be, because it's something I've always considered as well. I've been thinking about being a pop diva recently.
Ooh, okay,
but my voice ain't there yet, but I could get there. I have the fucking bass. I just need to get singing lessons. Singing lessons aren't as much as you think.
No,
I've always wanted to do aerials, right? I've started doing aerials. That's also not as expensive as I thought. So do a little research, soft launch it,
100%.
See how much things are, because you can make adjustments in your life where it's like, how much money, like right now, I decided I'm going to be giving up facials to like save a little bit more money, put it towards other things. But that facial is just going to pay for aerial lessons.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, there's also like communities and like things that are free. I know there's a lot of pages, like if you're into climbing, there's like women for like bouldering and things like that they're looking to get more women involved. With singing, you can actually do remote singing lessons. And also, like if you speak another language, don't sleep on outsourcing that from another country. Because my dad was like, oh, I have a friend who's like a singing professor in Mexico. Why don't you try some like online things with her, see if you like it, see that's something that you want to develop, and then you can look for something in New York if that's what you want to keep doing. And I was like, oh, that's perfect.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's actually a great tip.
Yeah. So there's a lot of avenues, I think, for you to look at opportunities. I was on the plane last night, and you know me, I make friends. So I made friends with the flight attendants, and they kept giving me wine. And after my second glass of wine, I was ready to chat. Like, there's 2 hours left on this flight. I'm gonna make friends with the girl next to me. She was Colombian, and she was talking to me. She was like 19, and like she didn't speak a lot of English, but I just started asking her questions about her life, and maybe she thought I was super fucking annoying, but I was like, oh, like, do you want to go to college? And she was like, well, yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, she just got here from Colombia, like, doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And I was like, oh, well, like, I didn't assume anything about her. I just told her my experience. I was like, I grew up undocumented. I still went to college. There is a lot of avenues for immigrants, especially like in Washington. I think now they've opened them more in federally in different states, but specifically in Washington, like HB 1079, and you can get WASFA, which is Washington State Financial Aid, to help pay for college. And also, like as an immigrant, there's a lot of scholarship opportunities, and you can write those in Spanish. So I just started like telling her how I did it. And then she started asking me more questions about college. So I was just like, you never know that there's a lot of opportunities out there for whatever it is that you want. You don't have to do it all at once, but like it never hurts to just start being curious and looking for things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great advice. I feel like, I mean, I'm just like so impressed with like you and like get you fucking figured shit out. But like same thing like with me, like I was like, I've been working on my student loan debt because those payments have come back up.
Yeah.
I was really hoping Mr. Joe Biden would take care of those for me, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I have to adjust.
Yeah.
But I just honestly, I'm like, every day I'm like, I'm so thankful that I have the like least amount of debt possible for a 4-year degree. And if I really wanted to, I could pay it off quickly, which is like my new goal.
Yeah.
Get it off my back. Get that demon off my back. But 100%. I'm thinking about like, how can I fucking be creative of making money? Feet pics. Feet pics. I'm selling my feet pics, bitch.
No, I mean, if you have nice feet, you might as well just dip your feet in the water. And then you take a picture while you're dipping your feet in the water. That was a good one. That was a good pun. This year I want to start soft launching. It's from a song. It's like, sis, you a bad bitch, even when you're still a bad bitch. I'll put the link up to it. But what the last like lyric is like bad bitch vibrations. And I was like, bad bitch vibration, because there's been like hot girl, bad bitch hours, but bad bitch vibrations I feel like are different, right? Because this is a vibe. This isn't about what you look like. This isn't about anything other than the fact like this is how I see myself, I carry myself, and those are the vibes I'm putting in the world. Bad bitch vibrations. So something about it is like so spiritual that I'm rolling with that idea into 2024. So I'm about to figure out what that looks like for me, what I feel like bad bitch vibrations are just like standing up for myself every day, standing on business, okay?
Ooh.
I've been standing on business a little too hard, actually. But we're just, I think that the vibe of being a bad bitch is being able to, even when you're being a saddie, be like, you know what, but that's okay because I'm still a bad bitch. Like, I still got so many things like going on for myself, even when you feel down, when you're feeling vulnerable, you're just like, this is a person who I still am, and this is the aura that I want to radiate. I was at like a show recently, and I was just not feeling very great. And I think like my vibe was down, and I had to take a second and be like, I need to change my energy right now. Okay? And I was just like, I took a deep breath, and I was just like, I like this music. Let me just close my eyes and like be in this moment. And like my whole like energy just started like changing. And as my energy was changing, so were the people around me, like my interactions with people. Like people started like coming up to me or trying to just like interact with me. And I think like that's so important. Like your vibes really will attract different type of energy. So if you're in a bad state of mind or just feeling like down, take a second and be like, let me reground myself and switch this shit up. And I think like if you're really in tune with like other people and are putting the energy of like, I was just very closed off and in a bad place, and now I'm going to be like very light and open, people do sense that.
I love that. I like vibrations because it's like, you can like feel it.
Yeah.
When you walk into a room. It's like an earthquake where it's like, wait, what? Do you just feel that? Like,
It's real.
It's real.
It's real. Some people have real bad auras. Like you ever have to, especially coworkers or somebody you have to work with, and you enter a room and you're just like, oh, fuck, that bitch is here.
Honestly, like, I feel like auras are like a real thing, and I think it's just like how you move in a space and how you take up space and like the color that you like exude. I was thinking about this, like, I'm gonna start cashing some fucking checks when it comes to my aura. I've like I mean this because I'm like I've been good vibrations for a really long time, right? I was randomly outside of a like a concert venue, and I saw this person that I've always been fucking nice to, one of my fucking homies, and they are leading security there. And he was like, "Yo, anytime you want a ticket, like hit me up, like no problem." And I was thinking, I was like, I need to cash in some more of these fucking checks, some more of these good energy checks.
Yeah.
I need to reach out to people because, like, I would do anything for anybody. Bitch, you want to launch a podcast? That's another one of my soft launch goals. We got a comment that was like, some people don't need podcasts. And I'm like, you're right,
Take
bitch.
your mic away.
I'm like, literally. And I'm like, you know what? Some people don't need podcasts. You know who does need podcasts? Badass bitches with badass bitch vibrations. Lana Del Rey, Tumblr saddies. Like, there's so many people I want to hear more from.
100%.
And that, like, I'm like, honestly, like, there's too many people who have, like, podcasts where I'm like, where's the spice? Where's the flavor?
Yeah.
If you're unhinged, put that shit on the internet. Soft launch it. Soft launch your crazy era.
Being fucking nuts.
I feel like I'm honestly show up authentically as yourself, okay, with your soft launch. And if you're a crazy person, then let it be.
I agree with you. I actually think this year we should be crazier. I also saw another TikTok that was like, there's rumors that Instagram's gonna have an Instagram Wrapped, and it's gonna like show who like you stalk who stalks you the most. And she was like, you know what, girls, stuck with your chest.
Yeah, like let's start liking fucking photos.
Make it evident. Oh, you're gonna see that I stalk you? Fuck it. I'm about to show you for real. Click 10 times.
Bro, honestly, I don't even feel like I stalk on Instagram anymore.
And sometimes I do. It depends, but like that's when you know I'm like not mentally doing well. Like if I'm being obsessive on Instagram, I usually take a break from the app overall. I'm acting like a crazy person. This needs to be taken away from me like a child. Like a child.
Yeah, you kind of have to I've been actually thinking about putting myself in timeout because I just be I'm just checking the fucking analytics on this shit. Like literally anytime I post a video, because like honestly, I put things out not thinking that's gonna be controversial, but like I put a video on our podcast page thinking, this might get some heat. And it doesn't. Then I'm like, oh, okay.
It was fine.
That's fine. Like, I'm anxious. Like, about a digital footprint?
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about my digital footprint, if I'm being honest. But, and so every time I put something out, I was like, is this going to catch too much heat? Like,
I think for the most part, as a person overall, as a human, we're not that problematic. Like, some people are getting some weird are weird. Some people are weird. Like, and I think if you were weird, I would tell you. Like a soft launch telling your friends when they're being fucking weird. Yeah. I'm sorry, but some people on the internet, when shit comes out, I'm like, they have friends. None of their friends told them that they were being fucking weird. Like, none of your friends said that's kind of groomer behavior. It's a little weird. You know what I mean? None of your buddies, none of your family members said that shit. Yeah, we're soft launching. If you are standing around your friends who are doing weird fucking shit and you're not saying anything, you're complacent to that problem. Okay, so soft
launch being a better person and holding your friends accountable.
100%. I know one of my friends, like, she just got in a relationship, and I think like New York is so interesting because everyone's so jaded that everybody wants to beat each other to the punch, right? So she was like being super self-destructive, low key, and like being on some dude. And I was like, you're in a relationship. Like, don't do that, please. Because then I'm part of the problem and I don't want to see it. And she's like, it's fine. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Not fine.
It's not fine. We don't do that, remember? And then like she kind of caught on. But it obviously like it wasn't coming from a bad place. It was more of like, I feel like he's gonna do it to me. Like, let me just like beat him to it. And I'm like, that's a very toxic way of thinking. That's a very hurt way of thinking, right? So like we can always push each other to be better, and maybe like your friend's having a bad moment, be like, we're okay.
Honestly, like you have to like live within your values, and like I feel like a really good exercise is like, what the fuck do you believe in? What the fuck do you stand for? And kind of have that. You need to have like a strong why when we're like soft launching things or hard launching things. Like if you don't have a why behind it, you're gonna be a little lost and you're gonna be unmotivated to do that. Now, I have like a strong why about like social justice, and that means that I gotta stand on business sometimes. Conversations are not as hard as I think we make them out to be in our head, especially if it's someone that you have a close relationship with, you know? So I've had to have like not tough conversations, but just like, you know, I have older family members, you know? Sometimes they say something and you're like, yo, that's low key whack. And you think it's going to be like this huge blow up. But if you come from like a good place and like just come from a good place, it ends up going a little bit better than, at least for me, it's gone better than I expected.
Yeah. And I think with our family members, we should challenge them. And we're the closest people that they have, right? So it's like at the end of the day, you still have a relationship with them. It's not like you can just like drop them off the face of the earth. Like, I will have to see these people again. My dad and I had like a big one for just like something he posted on the internet. He was like getting backlash about it. I'm like, I agree with the people that are giving you backlash. Like, why would you say that on the internet, you know? And we talked for about like 2 hours about it. There were tears, whatever. At the end of the day, I know he isn't coming from a bad place, but like, if I, as his daughter, don't feel like I can't stand on business on my beliefs, and we're not having a productive conversation about it, like nothing is changing that culture. So having those conversations, honestly, are part of the deal, the business. Like some people are worth educating. You know what I mean? And that's mostly like the people that you surround yourself with every day.
And honestly, I think that they're like your family's kind of an extension of you, and your friends are an extension of you, as they're like a mirror, right? And as in, I think that a lot of people that you're around are like a mirror of like who you are, right? And that's why I tell people, if his friends are whack, he's fucking whack, you know? You think that he hangs out with a bunch of whack dudes and he's the only non-whack motherfucker in his group? Fuck no. Like, that's not how that goes. He's whack too. But that applies to you. So if you're having some friends doing whack shit, you have to address it, or you are just like, that is a mirror of you.
110%. And sometimes that also goes the other way. If you're being a little toxic, a little insecure girl, and you're like, oh my God, he's a cheater, he's like an awful human being, and all of his friends turn out to be like awesome human beings that like treat women with respect, then he's probably like that, and you might just be the problem might be you.
Hey man, the problem is you. That's really hard.
Is you. No, I've had that where I'm like, this person's gonna play me, and I'm like, all his friends are actually like wonderful people that like love their girlfriends and like don't lie to them. I'm like,
good relationships with their moms, you know, and you're like, well, maybe it is me.
Oh. It happens.
It happens to the best of us, dude.
Yeah. One big one. It's like if you're dating somebody and his dad talks to his mom like crazy, and his brother does too. He does too. He also talks to his mom crazy, maybe just not around you.
I mean, babes, it's the holiday season, and if you're going to visit families, look at that dynamic, okay? That is the blueprint, okay?
Yeah.
And so if that's the blueprint that you want copy and pasted into your life, which, I mean, you know, praise be that for some people it actually is. Like, you know, that is actually really wholesome when you see two adults who have like a dope relationship and a long-lasting, loving relationship. But then you have some people where you're like, I don't want to be you, you know?
Yeah. No. I don't want to be you. I would not exchange my life with yours ever. Let's soft launch taking care of ourselves and what that means, right? So sometimes taking care of ourselves means making some decisions that at the end of the day are going to be the best for us. What I mean by that, maybe you're in a relationship where you're not completely okay with happy or the dynamic is bad. Taking care of yourself also means emotionally, and I think like sometimes we forget about that. Like I physically have to wake up every day, feed myself, go to work, so I all these things are working. But if you're like, I don't know, in a situationship or any friendship, any dynamic that is a toll on your emotional well-being, taking care of yourself is letting that shit go, is setting up boundaries with people and standing on business when you need to. That is also part of taking care of yourself every day and practicing self-care.
I would say, like, on that topic, like, before you soft launch crazy goals, you kind of have to like build the foundation and clean up house. Like
Mm-hmm.
that should probably be your first goal. And I feel like I wasn't doing that until about like, a year ago. And because of that, it made trying to achieve anything else really difficult. Like it made it difficult when you have toxic people, when you have like a lack of boundaries in your family dynamic. It's really hard to achieve goals when you're fucking tired and hungry and like financially stressed because of bad financial decisions. Like, so yeah, clean up house and like soft launch that. It's like if you have a really big goal for 2024, make sure you're in a really good place to be prepared to achieve that by taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Right now, that's been a really big theme for me where I'm not actively super consistent, I would say, with like my day to day. Like obviously I work in a I was talking to my parents about this. I work a 9 to 5 and then I like sew and I like go to the gym and I'm doing all these things that sometimes I forget to be like a human being, right? Like I don't have
Yeah.
an hour of my day where like I just chill. And then like that also happens, like my room is a mess and like shit's not cleaned up and everything's array and I just don't feel good about any of it. So right now what I've been practicing is keeping my room and like my place consistently neat, everything like organized as possible. And maybe I'm not spending as much time sewing and doing this and doing that, but like as long as like my space is clean consistently and it's been like kind of pretty consistent for like a month where like shit isn't crazy and everything's getting taken care of, then I'm able to like add on a little bit. But I just created this like habit for myself that like now this is the standard, right? So if I'm able to consistently keep a place clean, I'm not spending like 3 hours having to deep clean my
Yeah.
apartment one day because everything's already neat. So I feel like, okay, I have a good state of mind. I'm building this like stability within myself to be able to like add a little thing here and there and spend more time like with a space in my mind where I'm like ready to take on things. Because even with that, sometimes I'll procrastinate by cleaning. But like if that
Yeah.
shit's already clean, then I can't procrastinate with
Mm.
cleaning anymore, you know? It's like kind of tricking yourself into having better habits and creating a space where you can be more productive with whatever it is like you want to do and put your time and energy into.
I think that like I love that, and I feel like another good way to like soft launch is like try different things until something works. I feel like for me, I tried really hard to like be really regimented in my routine. That doesn't really work for me, but then I do have things that are just like non-negotiables. So it's like, okay, yeah, girl, we're brushing our teeth, we're washing our face, and we're doing our hair. That's it, okay? If that's the only things, that's the only fucking things. But making sure to do those. I think like I've tried apps, I've tried this, I've tried that, and like it hasn't really worked for me, and that's okay. It definitely, I think, would work for other people. I think there's definitely people that like that would work for it. So I'm just saying, like, experiment and try to figure out like what's gonna work best for you. I feel like with keeping things clean, my biggest thing is, dude, my Friday reset because that day is already like a work day. So then I like reset my house on Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, I get to enjoy. I don't have to do anything. And I just know on Friday, okay, hey, here's a checklist of 3 things. I just need to do a load of laundry. I just need to do like a little clean in the bathroom, and that's it. And it takes me like 20 minutes, but it just sets me up. I don't do one of these whole clean girl aesthetic Sunday resets anymore. I used to, but then I
It was
realized
unrealistic
it
for
would.
your
Yeah, it was just
lifestyle.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I just was unrealistic, so I made it shorter and something that's doable. Because like, what's better, something or nothing? Definitely something.
Yeah. And it goes back to just like living authentically, right? Like I think there's a lot of influencing on the internet of how you could want your life to live that doesn't actually match with who you are. So experimenting and finding out like what I'm okay with, what does clean look like to me might be what clean does not look like to somebody else. And that's okay because as long as it's clean to you, like, and there's like obviously like good hygiene practices and like, you know, whatever works with your brain and whatever you're happy with, then that's where you need to land on. It doesn't have to be like this super extra shit. Like sometimes when people have like containers for everything and shit like that, I'm like, I'm never gonna be that person. Even if I like tried to be that person, I don't know if I could maintain that. And that's okay. That's okay that my house is not gonna look like that.
Yeah, I think I'm naturally a dirty girl. I'm a dirty girl. But like honestly, here's the thing is like I would do gross things in college, like, you know.
That's true.
And people would be like, that's disgusting. And I'm like, really? It wouldn't even register in my mind because I'm just like naturally, I don't know. I'm like,
you're not a dirty girl. Like she has really good hygiene. Like don't okay. That's like false advertisement. But like, okay, yeah, we have things. Like, okay, but you know, we're not like minimalist bitches that like don't own like 10,000 color pencils or shit like that. Like we have things. And when you have things like
a messy girl. I'm probably a messy girl. I would say it's just like, or maybe it's just that if like I try to do clean girl, it's just so far off from like my natural state that like I don't think it's gonna happen. And honestly, it doesn't bring me joy. Like I feel kind of content with a little bit of mess, which honestly is probably pretty good.
Yeah. So whatever works for you. At the end of the day, it's really finding what makes you happy and happiness and experimenting and dipping your toes in that water, man.
Dipping your little footsies in the toes in the water. I honestly with your soft launch, make sure your goals are making you happy. Yeah, just what you said. Like we want everyone to be happy. I was thinking about this like recently, like I honestly believe that everyone deserves happiness, and what that means for every different person is different. That's why I try not to like judge other people's lifestyles because I don't know what makes you happy, but you need to know what makes you happy. Don't do a goal if it's not gonna bring you joy.
Yeah, if you have a goal and you're like, actually this fucking sucks, and you've tried it out for a bit, it's totally okay to quit. Like that just didn't align with me. I tried it out. Shit was lit for a little bit. Maybe you got a high from being able to achieve it or be with it. But you realize it's not for you.
I mean, I'm the queen of quitting, okay? So, like, honestly, I'm the bad person to talk about this. But one thing I really tried, I was into swimming for like 2 weeks. Yeah. But I realized it's just a lot.
It's a lot. Swimming is a lot on your skin, on your hair, on
my hair, dude. It was my hair. And it's like, the thing is I have the type of hair where like if I wash it every day, it's gonna look. Yeah. And I have to use a lot of product. I use handfuls of product to get this hair. Yeah. And this is a bad hair day, quite frankly. Anyways,
you have to switch your whole lifestyle around swimming.
And then I was like, I love swimming, but this is not going to be an every day at 6 a.m. thing. It's just not.
No.
But that's okay. Yeah. I tried it. Yeah. I gave it a good run. I made a few friends. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. And then, we quit. And that's okay sometimes. Honestly, some of y'all need to, if you're good at quitting other things, but not relationships, you need to apply that to relationships.
Dude, we should do, this is going to be another episode, which is you should quit. Give up, bitch.
Please. All right. Let's end on that note. Yeah. All right, everybody. As always, thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe. Tell a friend about this podcast. For real. Maybe your 2024 soft launch is us. Soft launch us into your social media and then tag us at thanks number 4 your concern. I'm at Berenice DSM.
I'm at Ella L Tudor. We will see you next week. Bye. Bye.